Welcome back to Starving Artist Courses, your all-in-one online music education resource. I'm Kat, and welcome back to your next piano lesson. If you missed last week, we learned about the notes on the piano, finger numbers, and the C major scale. So if you feel a little bit lost, feel free to go back to that one and give it a like. Okay, so let's get started. I know you're probably dying to know what a C major scale is, why it's even a thing, why it sounds nice, why we even learned it in the first place, and we're gonna learn that right now. A major scale is made up of a series of steps called whole steps and half steps, and we're gonna learn the difference about that right now. So if you look at the piano, I'm gonna give a little demonstration of what a half step and what a whole step looks like. This is a half step. This is a whole step. Half steps, you can tell them right away because when you're on a note, the one really close to it, you would think it's this one, but it's actually not because this one is overlapping this one. So that's the closest one. So that's a half step. And then right next to that one is another half step. So two half steps make a whole step. You see that? So whole steps and half steps come together in a sequence in order to make a major scale. Let me demonstrate this a little bit further for you with the C major scale that we learned last week. So, thumb on C. C major scale. So if we put together what we learned about whole steps and half steps, that is a whole step. That is a whole step. Half step. Whole step. Whole step. Whole step. Half step. So major scales are made up of whole step, half step, whole step, whole step, whole step, half step. So when we apply this sequence to C, it ends up lining up and being all of the white keys. However, what's cool is that when you change which note you start on, you get something completely different. So, let me show you. Let's say that we're starting on G. And we apply the sequence. Whole step, half step, whole step, whole step, whole step, half step. Do you see how we did the same exact sequence? But in C there was no black keys, but in G there was. So in our scales, we just learned that C has no black keys, G has one. And so this brings into light this idea of keys. This idea that every single one has a different mix, a different blend of black notes and white notes. So we know that C has C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, right? Goes back to it. But what do we do when we have a black key? What do we name that one? I'll explain to you right now. So I want you to find C on your piano. And then I want you to play a half step above that. That would take the name of the one right next to it, which was C, right? And it would be C sharp. Now, stay with me here. I want you to play D and then go down a half step. Same note, but now it's called D flat. A sharp raises a note by a half step. A flat lowers a note by a half step. So let's just do a little example again, okay? Let's start on A. Let's go up a half step. That's A sharp. B, down a half step. B flat. Same note though, different words, different names. But this is how I like to think about it. Tomato, tomato. They're both the exact same thing, but they just have different names, different pronunciation for them. But it's the same pitch essentially. This is what we call enharmonic. Now here's the reason they have to be sharp or flat. Because every single note has to be represented in a scale. So there has to be A through G. Now there would be a problem if we did, let's say, G again. G, A, B, C, D, E, And we called this one G flat, and then we did G, because there was no F present. There needs to be an A through a G in every single scale. That's why they're going to be named differently. So this time you start on D, right? Whole step, half step, whole step, whole step, whole step, half step. Now you notice that D has 2 black keys. But what are they called? Oh, right. We should probably go back to that. If you put it together, these would be called F sharp and C sharp. Because if we went, like I said earlier, D, E sharp, there wouldn't be any F present. So it would be F sharp and C sharp. And now going just a little bit back, G, what do you think that one would be? What accidental do you think? Start on G. B, C, D, E, G. Like we said earlier, it would be an F sharp. And so if this makes a little not too much sense to you, it's okay. It'll make sense to you sooner or later. It'll click, trust me. So I know that this might make sense when you're starting on white keys, but you can also do it when you're starting on black keys. Let me explain this. So let's say that we're starting right here, okay? This could be either A sharp or B flat, right? We're calling this B flat. It's B flat. So we're gonna do B flat, and we're gonna do a whole step, half step, whole step, and a half step. Same thing applies. It may feel and look a little bit different, but trust me, it's still gonna work. And so I know you're probably getting bored of just using your right hand. So we're gonna learn what we're supposed to do with our left hand. So instead of it being 1, 2, 3, like this, it's actually gonna look a little bit mirrored. So, and then the middle finger goes over. So number-wise, it would be 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1. And you can practice your C major scale, your G scale, and your D scale. And if you really want, you can practice that B flat. If you haven't already, make sure to sign up for our mailing list, where we're going to send you a free gift, a little PDF to help you get better at what you do. And make sure to click subscribe and the bell icon to know whenever we post something new. See you next week.